I will rather take the 75%, 75-ish percent to win. Oh, come on. Does this give +3 attack in one turn? I don't think I've ever seen this. Sick. Turn 5, by the way, turn 5.
Is it the mustache? Who knows?
What's up YouTube and welcome to Ziggs Taliyah Landmarks. A lot of people have requested me to play this deck recently, so I tried to look for a list with some success. And I stumbled upon this one. This was played in the top 32 of the last Americas seasonal. And while I'm not sure how the list actually performed there, it is surely somewhat competitively viable and has been tested before. And it also felt pretty strong when I played this while climbing the ladder. But I'll say right away, the deck is deceptively hard to play, even though it looks pretty straightforward. So I'll start off by explaining the simple parts of this deck first, and then try to explain the more intricate combos. In its core, we're playing a board-centric, mid-rangey deck with a burn side win condition. So the burn is Inventive Chemist Scrappy Bombs, a bit of pokey sticking the Nexus, but mostly Ziggs passive. Ziggs is incredibly easy to level up in this list. We play tons of landmarks, and while Ziggs is on the board, of course, every time our landmark is destroyed or counts down or anything of that nature, we deal 2 to the enemy Nexus. The Ziggs passive is direct Nexus burn as well as Taliyah's threaded volley. So we definitely can touch up the Nexus of our opponents directly, but most of the damage will come through board units. And we are a bit short on units overall, but they are very, very synergistic with this deck. We play Inventive Chemist as a 1-drop, Rockbear as a 2-drop. Both are very synergistic for landmarks, of course. And then Endless Devout is one of the core pieces of this deck, because most of the time it's a 3-mana 8/6 here. And with the Devout we can usually play very aggressively, because the payoff of getting the Sarcophagus is so high. The fastest, best, most efficient combo is Devout on turn 3, getting it killed, and then playing Desert Naturalist on the Sarcophagus. That means for our turn 4 play, we spawn a 2/4 Naturalist, a 5/4 Grumpy Rockbear, as well as a 5/3 Fearsome. And that is usually an enormous power spike in the mid game, and will often allow us to push quite a bunch of Nexus damage as well as control the board. Another very dangerous combo in the mid game is building up a bit of a board, some units, and then going for a Hexplosive Minefield for 1 mana, stunning your opponent's biggest blocker, and then playing a Desert Naturalist onto that Hexplosive Minefield, stunning another one of your opponent's blockers while spawning 2 units. This can be an absolutely insane combo in an aggressive turn, because for a total of 5 mana, we get 7 attack power spread across 2 units and stun our opponent's 2 biggest blockers. So always have an eye out for those combo opportunities whenever you try to go aggressive. Some other ways of popping the Sarcophagus or the Minefield for a big payoff is Rite of the Arcane, that removes a unit while also stunning another unit, again 2 for 1 basically. Unleashed Energy is great for setting up an open attack, either burst speed stunning one of your opponent's blockers or spawning a restored Devout from the Sarcophagus and then giving an additional buff to your units, also pretty insane. And now our last win conditions that I didn't touch up on yet are keywords. We play a copy of Herald of the Magus, incredibly easy to activate in this list, but 1 copy should be enough because it can be clunky. We also play 2 more Absolvers to make sure that either our champions get overwhelmed or some other unit that gets blocked by something with not so much HP. Of course, overwhelm on our champions is usually going to be very nice, because with the skills that they have, they will usually already damage the blocker, and then more overwhelm damage will go through to the Nexus. The same goes for Ziggs, of course, weakening the blocker first or removing him, then hitting the Nexus. And of course, Arsenal is a great finisher in this deck. This is basically a low-budget Pantheon in a way. Can sometimes outgrow Pantheon though, especially if you pair it with Ancient Hourglass. So if you put Hourglass onto your Arsenal, it keeps its keywords, gets resummoned, and gets another set of keywords, and you can even sometimes get all the keywords in the game onto an arsenal. And now I just want to give you guys some more strategic pointers on some of the combos with this deck. First of all, keep an eye out for board space and plan ahead a bit. Second of all, copying landmarks with Taliyah can be absolutely enormous because both Hexplosive, Minefield as well as Perseverarium are summon effects. That means they activate their effects once while Taliyah gets played, and then you can still make use of them by either destroying the Minefield or waiting for the countdown for the Perseverarium. Another thing you can do is Ancient Hourglass and then copy that unit with Taliyah. Can sometimes be very funny on a Ziggs or an Arsenal. But apart from that, of course, copying Sarcophagus is also very good for board control. Unraveled Earth is another very high skill cap card in this deck. Since this is burst speed, you usually want to play it right before your opponent has their power turns. So for example, if you play against Darkness, you want to play this right at the moment before your opponent would usually play Veigar or Senna, and therefore you can delay their development by a full turn and continuously threaten their key cards and slow down their gameplay. And the last thing to keep in mind is that with Hexplosive, Minefield and Unleashed Energy, you can stun one of your opponent's units in the middle of combat. And that can be absolutely devastating if you then pair it with an Overwhelm. So for example, imagine you attack with a Taliyah, your opponent blocks with a Tryndamere, you play Unleashed Energy, destroy the Minefield so the Tryndamere goes back to the bench, and if your Taliyah either has Overwhelm from the Herald of the Mages or you have an additional Absolver in hand, you can very often find lethal on the spot there, going for something like a 16 damage attack from Taliyah alone. So I hope all of this advice helps a little bit. Lots and lots of tiny combos and interactions here, and this deck might need a little while to get used to, but I felt like the payoff was pretty high. It's very fun to play, it feels very rewarding, and it has a very unique playstyle. It feels like the only landmark deck, besides Thralls of course, that is actually somewhat competitive and playable. And to give you some more inspiration, I actually had a lot of interesting situations in my gameplay in the recordings for this video. A lot of educational examples. I hope you can learn how to play the deck a bit better there as well. Enjoy. Okay, interesting matchup. Not one that you see too often. Right off the Arcane, could keep one copy for an Ekko. My opponent doesn't really run protection for Ekko outside of Absolver. Apart from that, one drop is great and we're looking for Curve, Rockhopper, Devout. Not too bad. They're going hard with the Zilean Nasus deck. Yeah, it's a really good one. It was very fun to play. And felt great in the meta.
We can always rely on you to keep us safe.
Okay, we might have board space issues next round. What would you trade? So this absorbs... Actually, no, this little thing absorbs this. You can play both. Okay, we're fine. It's my opponent's turn 3 play. Don't run Practical Perfectionist anymore. I go Chemist first. Question is basically, if I roll it, like if I play Rockhopper first, I want to make my opponent's 3-drop vulnerable. If I play this first, wait for my opponent to play something, then play Rockhopper, I hit his turn 4, which is the Ekko turn. Like Taliyah Ziggs struggle with this, the Ionia elusive decks? I can't say yet, but... I'm not sure if they should struggle though. Like they can definitely outrace Ionia decks. Like this deck can close out games around turn 6 or 7 somewhat consistently. You're just not playing for Arsenal, you're playing for like you're mostly playing for Curve into Devout Sarcophagus, and optionally you'll go for an Overwhelm champion attack. You don't have to. Okay. My opponent just played this into a vulnerable, that's crazy. They might be able to protect it with Scrying Sands, but of course, in this case I won't even take the chance. Just snipe the Ekko immediately. Second Ekko would be an issue. Voice of the Risen is now already activated as well. My hand is horrible, that's also an issue.
I am wearing my goggles.
The deck took me to plat. Do you think a Targon version could be good? Targon version of what? I mean, you can either play Taliyah Malphite or you can play Ziggs. I don't know what that would look like, to be honest. Bit late. Let's see. Hello, Grandpa Roji. Did someone just say Malphite? Almost hoping my opponent finds Ekko so I can snipe him back out again.
We must tell our stories, lest they be forgotten.
Minefield and Rite of the Arcane next turn. My draw's a bit awkward. Okay.
To speak and be heard, that is true power.
We're fine though, like with the Arsenal coming up next turn, it'll have 6 keywords. We can Hourglass for 12. What a waste of a Mystic shot. Not worth an Unleashed though. Ah, okay, another waste of a Mystic shot after all. Maybe we can bait a block here.
These are my streets.
Nice. Won't use for the mana after all. And next turn Arsenal can take over. We even have Hourglass mana. It's so crazy that an aggressive, like tempo mid-range deck like this has such a crazy finisher like Arsenal.
Ekko, you were supposed to be here tomorrow.
You said that yesterday. Good one, Zil. High five, yeah.
Is it Taliyah? Yeah, I think I like Arsenal Hourglass blocking Ekko maybe. Taliyah can threaten the block on voice. No, I go for Arsenal with 12 keywords. It's too cute to not do it. It'll even get the 13th from Preservarium.
This is my future.
Watch it, Bozo.
Wait, it'll have 14 keywords. Aren't there just 14 keywords? I think the Arsenal will have all the keywords in the game. What the hell is this? Victor's dream? Oh wow. What do we do? Taliyah and Absolver. I mean, we're just winning here.
So little when family means so much.
Taliyah, got some cool tech to show you.
Oh good. I got some cool shots.
GG is better than Pantheon? Yeah, Pantheon on turn 8 cannot keep up with this Arsenal.
More often.
What do I expect? A lot of AoE removal? Ravenous Flock shenanigans. Unraveled Earth should be good in this matchup, right? Helps all of my late game win conditions with advancing, and I'm mainly playing for late game win conditions here, I think. Which would be Taliyah, Herald of the Mages, Arsenal, level Ziggs. Like, Ziggs takes one out for free, but I kind of want my Devout to die. There's a chance I lose Ziggs before he levels. I think I like Devout more. Use this as a bit more of a combo piece rather than a tempo piece right now. Do I think landmarks are tier 1? No. Outside of maybe Thralls. Interesting pass.
Let us get going.
Close. I wish we had a landmark here for Unleashed. Could Hourglass to shut down the Poro thing, but it doesn't really make sense. It does enable Herald though. It flips Ziggs as well. Maybe it's the way to go. Looks really weird, but it might be good enough. Yeah, I think I like it, because then I can also immediately threaten Braum. Ziggs will be at 6 attack. Would Unleashed Energy be that OP at 2 mana? No, I don't think it would be completely broken. Or rather, the card would be insanely good, but the landmark archetype overall would not be good enough for the card to be broken. The only issue is if Ziggs pulls Braum, they still get a Poro. Doesn't matter too much, it's just a bit annoying. Do you think Overwhelm would be good in this meta? What kind of Overwhelm? Just looks like Endrawn to me. Would be a much easier play to make if I actually had Arsenal in hand though. Or Preservarium. How much is the attack worth? Hourglass on the Herald is cute. I'd have to do it right now, otherwise Ravenous Flock is a problem. Generally, I'd rather keep it for Arsenal, but I think we gotta work with what we have. Save it to protect Ziggs. I don't think I can protect Ziggs though. At least not this copy of Ziggs. My opponent probably runs Scorched Earth, even if they had, like, multiple copies of Flock, Scorched Earth, Death's Sand, those kinds of things. If I try to Hourglass and damage Ziggs, it's probably still gone. Now that's something I didn't expect. Might be another Scorched for the Ziggs then. awkward hand. We could go... We can maybe find lethal this round. Nice. Okay, you're not leveled yet.
Distance means so little when family means so much. If I stumble, I have the earth to catch me.
I mean, right now, we kind of got the Hearthstone lethal. Is this already lethal? My opponent will probably react to this, right? If they do something, like try to remove Ziggs, I can then Unleashed, get rid of this. It's still lethal, I think.
All rocks erode eventually. Some rocks just hold it still.
Should be the best play. Otherwise, Braum can play... Sorry, can block the Devout. And then if I go for Unleashed trying to stun Braum at burst speed, the Phantom block will stay since this doesn't have Overwhelm. Still lethal, right? This would be 19 damage. It's technically better to put this on Ziggs, though, I think. Since he just represents more. Better on Taliyah? No, if freeze on Taliyah hits the hardest. GG. Man, burst speed stuns with Overwhelm on your champions is kind of unfair. But yeah, this game came down to us playing for the win conditions from the get-go. Like playing for the combo finish instead of swarming the board against an AoE deck. So we didn't play as aggressively as we might want to do in a lot of other matchups. Okay, this matchup I'm curious about. I got a set. 3 of a kind.
Nature does not mourn. I will.
Non-flammable?
The problem is I have board space issues on turn 3. But you're not attacking?
Little bombs are just as good as big ones.
Ahri, what do you fear?
A dull companion?
More revealing questions.
I got an idea.
Personally, I only fear edgy voice lines.
Catch me if you can.
Okay. Top deck Pokey Stick. Fingers crossed.
Silent as death. The forest surrounds us.
How important is the HP on the Devout? Not at all, right?
Too slow. And I thought there was something good to see. Hey, wake up, you
I wonder why my opponent was hesitating. Maybe they were considering homecoming.
Care that the hunt does not consume you, Ahri. The others seem to wish it so. The hunter approaches.
I feel like our opponent is playing way too defensively. I think our opponent should try to outrace us.
Care that the hunt does not consume you, Ahri. The others seem to wish it so. The order rewards its faithful.
Well, perfect setup though. Minefield, next turn we have mana for Taliyah and Absolver. So homecoming is annoying, but we still take out most of our opponent's key cards. Since they'll be forced to block. Got triple 1-drop, so it's tough for him. Yeah, you might be right.
This is the heart of the forest.
That's a tech choice I haven't seen in a long time. Positioning doesn't matter. Still has homecoming mana, so I need to be a bit cautious. But they'll have to pre-commit it, right? Even if they commit 3 blocks, we still threaten 6 damage. GG. And now we saw the aggro side of the deck. Mostly look for curve, but if your opponent plays a ton of AoE like in the Swain matchup earlier on, I would actually look for stuff like Unraveled Earth, maybe even Preservarium, Devout. Devout in a lot of mid-range matchups as well. The mirror. What do we do in the mirror? Pokestick is like okay but slow. Ziggs is not something we want to keep in the opening. Probably full mull. Just look for early units and Devout. Preservarium is low-key good. But only if we already had some playable cards. My friend has been AFK in voice chat for an hour and his mic plays back videos he watches, so I decided to trail the sounds and I ended up finding you. Well, hello there. Also, kind regards to your friend. He seems to have a good taste in YouTube videos. Yeah, that's why I full mulliganed. We can definitely lose this matchup by just getting overrun, so I was looking for 1-drops and 2-drops. Ouch. Taliyah wins mirror. It's mostly tempo that wins the mirror. Since we do play a burn-ish deck. And both of our decks don't have healing and don't play cards like Rite of Negation. There's limited ways of stopping stuff like Absolver or Overwhelm champions. Okay, this is better than expected. This plays around Pokestick. 1 damage. Yeah, probably have to take the risk here. Should at least add a 1 Quicksand. But then, like, Quicksand is a non-tempo card. In a very tempo-heavy deck. Oh, slight misplay. I should have played Devout first. I guess it works out. Okay, so what's scary here? Taliyah and Herald of the Mages. At this point, Ziggs is also scary. Could go full swing hope, opponent kills Devout. Copy Sarcophagus. Full swing looks best. Like, we're catching up, but I feel like we might be too slow in catching up.
I can't wait to see what this one does.
I'm almost a bit surprised our opponent elected to kill the 3-3. Probably should have swapped the two blockers around so the Devout survives. Okay, this girl is a bit scary. Explosive. Never lucky. Okay.
I go!
Probably just toast to Absolver here. But our plays are kind of forced at this point. Could block with a 5-3 instead of Ziggs. One out of 4. Play this, pop this. Yeah, it's probably better. We're not dead to Absolver, actually. I don't think... I'm pretty sure we let Taliyah die here. Wait, actually that was probably ending. If I go for the second Unleashed, I can't play Naturalist this turn anymore, which is pretty big, and also no Preservarium. That's tough to say. Do I normally stream this late? No. But my stream schedule is all over the place because it depends on when my internet is stable. When my ISP has mercy on me.
If it was important, they should have built it better.
It's a mistake. I don't know. Like, we're setting up an open attack, right? If we go for the second Unleashed on the Taliyah, we're not open attacking anymore. Imagine Ziggs level 2. We can force level him and get additional burn with Ancient Hourglass. Okay. Block, block. We're pushing 5, Unleashed 9. Oh, this is lovely. This is so sneaky. See, it was actually... Okay, hindsight is 20/20, but it's in hindsight it was absolutely correct to let Taliyah die and go for Naturalist. We can level him now at burst speed mid-combat, and that flips the Absolver. Then we can still put Overwhelm here. I don't think it upgrades the skill though, does it? Play around double pokey stick, I suppose. Play into Minimorph though. Oh, he flips anyway. So we should be 1 off right now. Oh, it actually upgrades the... Oh no, I can't count. Oh yeah, the level up was the 5th point of damage, of course. Playing the spell before the attack better? No, because then my opponent can block the target that gets buffed.
How do you like them booms?
Still missing the earring? The Helix earring. I do have one earring, but it's... Right now it's just a pin. Because it's still relatively new. Wait, where's the zoom? But Ziggs has one like here, right? I think that one's a lot more painful and takes a lot longer to heal off. But it is kind of cool. It is kind of cool. Have I seen the Spicy Ionia Yeti deck? I've seen it, but I don't remember what it looks like. If you have a link, feel free to share it. Did I ever run Wastewalker in this deck? In earlier iterations, I did. It's not bad, but I'm not sure if it's necessary. The Ziggs cosplay as a sub goal? Ooh, that's a good idea. But then I need to get that earring. Goddamn. Wait, it almost looks like he has a double mustache here. The earring switched sides. Oh no, it's left side on both. Okay. I'm tripping.
Now where did I leave that finger?
Fake earrings with a clip? Yeah, that's an idea. For the cosplay, it shall suffice. I tried to make a deck like this and I was running Ruinous Path. Is there any particular reason you're not running it? I don't see why Ruinous Path would be good in this.
Yeah, I'm wearing my goggles.
Could Pokey Stick immediately, actually.
It can be undone.
It's gonna blow! It's gonna blow!
I play this immediately because of Snapjaws. It's still Naturalist.
Hey, I am feeling great.
Let's see if we can finally break the Lurk curse.
There's a rock, dude.
How much crying would Reddit do if Victor would grant keywords to the whole board? I mean, that would be an easy way to break the whole game.
We can always rely on you to keep us safe.
I don't think we need to attack here. We don't really delay anything important though with 3 mana left on our opponent's side. Might as well take it. This pretty much guarantees that we win on the next swing. Pyke here. Wait, how big is your Pyke? It's not big yet. The fearsome. Okay. Someone respects the Ziggs burn. Sure. Open attack with double Absolver should just win, right?
Little boom and one really big one.
Is there merit to playing Herald first? That's wild. Maybe another death from below in hand. Yeah, my only play here is sending it in though. Oh, I didn't threaten lethal. I should have pre-committed the first part of the Absolver. So Pyke is at 5. I could buff this to 6 attack actually. Yeah, that's it. Like, my opponent's only out is another Death from Below or main deck Bones Cure, right? We do this. Profits. Hey, we beat our Arc Nemesis. Let's go.